We will now move to MC 2222, Montgomery County Speed Monitoring Systems, Maryland Route 200, the Intercounty Connector. Senator Kramer, the floor is yours.
Thank you for that, Madam Chair. For the record, Ben Kramer introducing MC 2222 on behalf of the entire District 14 and District 19 delegations. For those who are or are not familiar, the Intercounty Connector runs the entirety of Districts 19 and 14. It also goes into District 39 for a little bit, and it's one small segment into Prince George's County. The problem is that the Intercounty Connector is in its design, allows for very high speed traffic, and the sound mitigation, the barriers that were put up along the Intercounty Connector to separate the communities that are contiguous to the roadway, those sound barriers were predicated on studies with vehicles traveling at speeds of 55 miles per hour. The speed limit had been raised on the ICC to 60 miles per hour, but it is very common practice for vehicles to be traveling anywhere from 70, 80, 90 miles per hour on the road. A big part of the problem, as is the case with state agencies throughout the state, Governor Hogan has slashed budgets and positions within agencies. The Maryland Department of Transportation has not been spared. And as a consequence, they're shorthanded. They do not have the resources to enforce the speeds on the Intercounty Connector, and the quality of life for the communities that, again, are contiguous to the ICC has been dramatically reduced because of the volume of noise from speeding traffic, and since the pandemic more recently, motorcycle racing on the Intercounty Connector. The fact of the matter is that Maryland law is not nearly as stringent as in our neighboring state of Virginia, and it is not lost on those who want to race motorcycles on public streets, so they come into Maryland to do their racing. What has occurred is that on areas of the Capitol Beltway, the state police increase their enforcement. They do not do the enforcement on the Intercounty Connector. But because they increase their enforcement to try to reduce motorcycle racing on the Beltway, they push that onto the Intercounty Connector. So in addition to the high speeds that automobiles are traveling on the Intercounty Connector, there's been a dramatic increase in motorcycle racing on the ICC. So the bill before you, although I had requested repeatedly of the bill drafter that the bill require the Maryland Transportation Authority to implement the speed camera installation and enforcement and allow them to enter an agreement with the Montgomery County Police Department to take it if the county wanted to enter into that agreement. The way the bill is drafted, it specifies that the Maryland Transportation Authority and Montgomery County shall enter into a memorandum of understanding for the county to do the operation. I don't think that that is a significant issue. At the end of the day, it accomplishes the goal, and under the bill, there would be a requirement for a speed camera to be placed at all exits on the Intercounty Connector at some point between exits in the Montgomery County section of the Intercounty Connector. The goal here being that rather than just have 1 or 2 cameras and having cars race up to slow down and then race again until the next camera, we have consistency throughout travel on the Intercounty Connector so that folks know there will be speed cameras throughout the course of their travel and in both directions. The reason that it does not include our friends in Prince George's County, although our colleagues that have the one section in Prince George's in their district were very supportive of it, is that it added a layer of complication in the drafting that I just did not want to have to deal with. So my friends over in Prince George's indicated that they may well consider doing it for the one little segment that they have of the Intercounty Connector. Also with the goal of slowing down overall traffic speeds, it will not be as conducive to those who want to race motorcycles if the speeds of the automobiles in general are being brought down closer to that of the posted speed limit. And as we know, under our speed camera law, it's not a violation unless you're going greater than 12 miles per hour over the speed limit. But knowing what the speeds are on the ICC, trying to bring speeds down to that level would be a significant improvement. So with that, again, on behalf of the District 19 and 14 delegations, I would certainly welcome any questions.
Thank you, Senator. Are there any questions for the sponsor? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to the panel. First up, Shruti Bhatnagar with the Sierra Club of Montgomery County. Shruti, you're back.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the delegation for giving me this opportunity to testify today twice. I will not give a detailed testimony on this, but we wanted to just wanted to share that the Sierra Club Montgomery County supports Bill 2222 for the same reason that we support Bill 322. It's aligned with the Vision Zero goals and making it safer for drivers and pedestrians. And we want to thank District 14 and District 19 delegation for sponsoring this bill. We will be submitting a testimony if needed, but we would urge the full delegation to please support this bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next up, Mark Friedman, Maryland Coalition for Highway Safety. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you and good evening. I'd like to take this opportunity to share my perspective and advocate in favor of Bill MC 22-22, the Montgomery County Speed Monitoring System for Maryland Route 200. So as you mentioned, my name is Mark Friedman, and I am a 35-year resident of Montgomery County residing in Olney, Maryland. I'm the president of the Hollowell Homeowners Association, and I'm a charter member of the Maryland Coalition for Highway Safety. I'm here this evening to share 3 things. One is a quick personal story of why I'm so engaged in this bill. Second is share our coalition's philosophy on the need to take action on the issue of speeding and dangerous driving in Montgomery County. And third, share some brief facts regarding the benefits of adding speed cameras to the Maryland 200 Intercounty Connector. My story and the reason for my involvement in the coalition is simple. Over the years, I've lost 2 family members to negligent drivers. One involved a drunk driver speeding on a highway, and the other was a pedestrian struck by a vehicle speeding on a suburban sidewalk. Both left behind grieving spouse and young children who would never grow up to know the love and support of one of their parents. These tragedies were senseless and preventable. It's incumbent on us to get involved to make a difference in advocating for the safety of others. Again, that's why I'm here. As a member of the Maryland Coalition for Highway Safety, our philosophy and objectives are clear. We wish to actively address several risks as follows. 1, the current ICC roadway experience reflects growing danger and declining quality of life due to excessive speeding. My personal experience is that the 60-mile-an-hour limit is widely ignored by far too many drivers, and data shows that Maryland roads are growing more dangerous and deadly. 2, speed cameras are a proven, effective, and impartial means of slowing people down. They work to save lives and promote the quality of life on our local roads. Applying this life-saving technology to the major state highway running through Montgomery County is an imperative. And third, we're concerned about reducing vehicular speed for two reasons. First, local driving safety. Too many out-of-state non-Montgomery County drivers use the ICC as a shortcut and treat it as a raceway, making it dangerous for our local drivers. Second, as neighboring ICC 200 residents, we should not have to tolerate the loud roadway noise due largely to the illegal speeding that takes place on the ICC. 5 quick facts for your consideration. Number 1, speed cameras do work to slow traffic, save lives. Number 2, speed cameras make violators pay, not innocent travelers who incur accident or injury from negligent speeders. Number 3, speed cameras are automated, freeing up law enforcement officials' time to address other key needs. Number 4, speed cameras are impartial and do not discriminate based on race, gender, age, or other profiling. And number 5, speed cameras are cost effective and the revenue will pay for itself and can be used for other beneficial activities. So in closing, we believe that while speed cameras may not be the ultimate answer to eliminating reckless driving speeders, they're a meaningful step in the incremental process of helping to create a safer driving experience in Montgomery County. So I thank you for your time, and I ask you to please help us by advocating for approval of MC 22-22.
Thank you. Next up, we have John Petruska. You have 2 minutes.
Senators and delegates, thank you for hearing my testimony this evening. My name is John Petruska, and I reside in the Wheaton area of Silver Spring. Residents of Silver Spring know that aggressive driving, including documented street racing and serious collisions, have been a problem for many years. Montgomery County Councilmember Tom Hucker himself alluded to this problem in a statement to NBC News 4 about increased street racing in the county during the first year of the pandemic. State police data reflected similar trends statewide. Speeding violations jumped nearly 40% from February to May 2020. My neighbors and I avoid walking on the sidewalk adjacent to Georgia Avenue after a vehicle collision demolished the sign located beyond the sidewalk for an apartment complex at Wyndham Lane and Georgia Avenue in October of this year. The Action Committee for Transit notes that 7 pedestrians have been killed in a 4.2-mile stretch of Georgia Avenue in Wheaton just since August 2019, and there are an average of 12.5 collisions per mile per year there. And this is not a new problem. Vision Zero Montgomery County recorded 10 motorists and 4 pedestrians killed between Forest Glen and Pliers Mill Roads, just over 1 mile of Georgia Avenue between 2012 and 2016. The proximity of Georgia Avenue to the ICC, where speed enforcement also is lax, appears to contribute to this, as the same driving behavior is witnessed in both places. If the ICC is the racetrack, Georgia Avenue is literally an on-ramp to the track. The link between vehicle speed and roadway danger is apparent enough to the state, as well as the county, that both have lowered speed limits on roadways throughout the county in an effort to enhance pedestrian safety. However, lower speed limits will do little to deter those who violate them already. That is why stronger enforcement is needed. Therefore, I urge adoption of MC 2222 as soon as possible, and for the legislature to pursue similar legislation for other roadways in our region. Studies by the IAHS and Montgomery County Office of Legislative Oversight demonstrate that speed cameras help to reduce speed on our roadways. Much more action is needed, but this is a good first step. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final witness for this bill, Brenda Funk. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening, and thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for allowing me to speak. As I said, my name is Brenda Funk, and I am a resident of Brook Manor Estates in Rockville, which is near the Olney line. My house backs up to the ICC near the Georgia Avenue exit. In addition to hearing speeding motorcycles and cars on the ICC from our house every morning, noon, and night, I witness the speeders when I drive on the ICC many times during the week, often traveling towards 495 and 270. The speeding of the drivers is out of control. Cars and motorcycles weave in and out of traffic, and have no consideration for the posted speed limit. We keep hearing this word raceway. It really is a raceway for many individuals on the road. I have 2 young daughters who are recently newly licensed drivers, and I prefer that they not get on the ICC because of the reckless driving. It is just too dangerous. So I'm fully in support of the placement of speed cameras on the ICC, as are many of my friends and neighbors. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate the necessity of putting these speed cameras up, because frankly, they work. People slow down when they know that there are speed cameras. And I just don't want, I don't want to be hearing stories of people dying when it really could be helped by having these speed cameras. So I support the law, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Are there any questions for these witnesses? Okay, seeing none, that concludes the hearing on MC 2222. Thank you, everyone.